Mr. Mironow, welcome and thank you for being here today for this interview. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Thank you for this invitation.
Great. It's like a tradition for the CEO Talks to ask about the background of each guest. And your name, though your last name, sounds Eastern European. So where do you come from?
In fact, it's a funny story because my father is Russian, or was Russian, he died not so long ago. I'm like a 50-50 solution, I call it, because I'm a half German and a half Russian. So I was born in Dresden in Eastern Germany, and then with the family we went to Russia. So I have like both backgrounds.
So you were born in Germany but raised to Russia.
Exactly. As a small children, I went to Moscow and spent quite a lot of time in Russia before coming back to Europe.
And when you came back to Europe, was it for your studies, for instance?
Exactly. So I finished the German school in Moscow, German school at the embassy. The funny story is that Uwe, that you have interviewed not so long ago, was finishing the same school.
All right.
Interesting fact. And yes, and then I go to studies to Germany. Then it was a period of studying in Germany. Then I went back to Russia, and there I finished my studies. It's public relations at the Moscow State University. Yeah, so.
Did you go with Mr. Leuschner to the same school for the same time, or
no? I mean,
he
was a little bit before me at the school.
Okay, and you said you studied public relations, right?
Yes.
How can you combine these studies with your current role in transportation? I mean, of course, it plays an important part of the job, public relations, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, I had a very special focus, public relations in corporate structures, especially, and even my diploma was about a big logistic company in Russia, where I just was researching the public relations inside the corporation.
And where are you based currently? Where can someone find you? Do you have a solid basis, or do you travel a lot around?
I mean, yes, I travel a lot. I mean, nowadays it's a little bit limited due to all the COVID restrictions, unfortunately, but our headquarters is located, I mean, TC Europe headquarters is located in Vienna. So this is our home base. And we have an office in Frankfurt. We have an office in Berlin in Germany. And just not so long ago, we start to develop also our Polish representation.
All right. You're the managing director of Transcontainer. Is it your first managing role in such a large scale?
Yes, yes, sure. In this scale, it is the first role, but also before I used to be in managing positions. But I mean, this is the largest one.
What do you think about it so far? Is it challenging? Is it difficult, or?
It's really challenging, but it makes also a lot of fun, I would say, because I mean, managing a company like TCE, already quite long in the market, and also having this big structures in the background. You know, I mean, Transcontainer, Dialog Group. It's a huge, huge mamas in the background or on the side. So.
Yes, you mentioned Della Group, and I was about to ask you this exact question. How difficult is it to operate in such a big group in terms of communicating, etc.?
I think we are doing quite good because we are working on, let me say, one big idea to get the main and the biggest logistics operator in. I mean, we are already, but to grow in this role. For sure, I mean, Dialog Group is huge. There are good partners of us, especially I was today talking about the Far East ports and our solution via Port of Vostochny, and Port Vostochny belongs, for example, to Global Ports, and Global Ports is also in our group. So we are cooperating, we are developing something together, and yeah.
It's also positive because if so many different companies belong at the same group, then it's easier to come together, right?
Exactly, exactly. I mean, we have the full support, and the communications flow are quite good. So it's internal cooperation then.
How has your life changed after you took over this role? Your everyday life?
Okay, I'm now much more busier. Yeah, so a lot of tasks to do. A lot of things to develop. I mean, Transcontainer, as I mentioned before, Transcontainer Europe is already more than 10 years in the market, but still like a middle-sized company, and we need to want to grow. We want to develop something in Europe. We are planning to build up new offices. The team representation, the company presentation. So a lot of interesting tasks, but for sure also time consuming.
So what do you do when you don't work?
Well,
Do you have any hobbies, any particular interests?
yes, I'm really sophisticated soccer player, football. So I used to play even in a state league team in Germany. Since I come to Vienna, it is not so much football in my life, unfortunately. But yes, this is one of my big hobbies.
Do you support a specific club, maybe?
Yeah, I have. Strange to say that, but I have like two hearts in soccer because I'm from Moscow. I'm like a little bit Spartak Moscow, not a little bit. I'm a Spartak Moscow supporter. But then I used to live in Dresden, in Germany, very nice small town, and I used to play Dynamo Dresden, the third team. So this is my like second soul.
I see that the 50-50 solution that you mentioned is playing a very important role in your life. Does it help in your work as well?
For sure. In first instance, the languages, because living in Austria, having a lot of German partners requires like the German language. Yeah, but working for a group like Transcontainer, for Dialog Group, also requires the possibility and the ability to speak Russian, because it's quite helpful in this case. And yes, sure.
What other languages do you speak along the New Silk Road, maybe?
It's just three. It's Russian, like fluently, like mother language. It's German, the same, and English, as you as you can see. Yeah.
Of course. Now, regarding your job, you are in Germany, in Russia. It's like trying to bring two different worlds together, let's say, right? How much are politics involved in your work?
Politics plays a very important role, especially Russia and Germany, or Russia and Europe, I would say. For example, it was also a topic today, the sanctions. Which are affecting the transportation moduses, and you cannot easy bring all types of cargo, for example, from Europe into China. Yeah, you have to apply for the special seals, and we were discussing it brightly today. Also, it was shown in presentation of Yulia Kostolapova quite nicely. So, I think yes, it's important.
Can you handle it, or can they become a burden after a point?
Now we have the situation in Ukraine, for example. Yeah, with the convention that Ukraine has this not allowing transit cargo to go into Poland. This is a direct influence, especially for us TCE. We were developing different solutions. Just also today I mentioned this long train going from Vostochny through Russia, through Ukraine, into Europe, Zlavkov, 11,800 something kilometers, which is the longest 1520 train. Yes, and now it's not possible anymore. Just from one day to the next one. Yeah, and nobody can predict how long it will now stay, this convention. I hope not too long, and we can go ahead, but it's direct impact into our business.
So I guess this is like one of the hard parts of your job. But what parts do you enjoy most?
Well, what I enjoy most is this feeling, this idea of developing something. We have a very good team, and we develop this team, and it's like a family feeling, and I like much this attitude, like to become really big but strong family in the logistics business.
Are you a person who sticks to traditional managing concepts, or are you opening new ideas, enabling younger people to provide you insights and ideas to grow your business?
I would say more the second type of director. Very flexible, also trying to give people space to develop themselves. This is very important. Also nowadays we recognized and realized that home office is a good opportunity, and for especially certain part of our team, they work even better from home than they do it in office. So I will not put them under pressure and give them some more space.
And it's also about flexibility, right? Adjusting and adopting in new situations. Is this one of the keys for success in this business sector?
And yes, I would say yes for sure. And flexibility is a very important point in nowadays. Yeah, I mean we are showing this flexibility also as a company. Developing these new routings. I mean, I was mentioning this train to Slavkov, but also in the same week we had arrival from train from China via Mongolia via the new border crossing Svisly-Semyanovka, which was the terminal Khrizanov, Andrex terminal. Also successful train, a new connection. And this year we did a train, started to provide trains to Kaliningrad. I mean, St. Petersburg was a topic, so I mean, being flexible in nowadays and also being able to provide solutions to different routings, I think it's a goal, yes.
How else would you define success? What other key elements are there for you, maybe?
Success. For me, success is the team, I would say. For me, important is that we have this strong team, we stick to each other, we develop ourselves, each and everybody in this team is developing, and I mean this is the base for success.
Do you have any specific business rituals that you follow, maybe?
Good question. Rituals? Not really. No, I would say no specific rituals. No.
So you just go with the flow, right? And you adapt in different situations.
No, it's not. Okay. If you ask it like that, for sure we have a clear plan. We won't exactly know what we want. I mean, even maybe for the group also too much planning because we developed some 5-year strategy, for example, and we stick to it. And I mean, the strategy is quite precise with certain key points that we want to achieve. I mean, the milestones and quite big plan in total. And yeah, but stick step by step. Also in this development of our team, we will manage to achieve all those goals.
Now we find ourselves in the European Silk Road Summit. It's an event, and networking is an integral part of it. What is the key element for you for a successful networking? Is it only talking purely for business, or is it also about coming closer to each other?
I think it is coming closer, and I mean, in this sense, it's even more important than talking about business because, I mean, people are doing the business and having good relations to the partners, to the customers, to the branch. I would say in total, it's very important part of our life. Yeah, and so I would say it's most important to build up these personal relationships, and this summit is a very good opportunity. I mean, thank you guys, doing a really great job because it's like the 4th time I'm on this rail freight events, or even the 5th time. It's like a big family, and to have this feeling being here, and also through your support, so what you are doing here, it's a great opportunity.
Thank you. And I'm noting down the remark that you mentioned now about the big family. So I guess it's easy for you to make friends in the sector, right? It's easy to make friends in general in the sector. Business does not keep people apart.
Yes, I mean, we are all doing, I think it's also part of a big idea. In total, we're developing the rail. We're developing something which is, I mean, it's already common and the market get used to it, but still it's something new, and this is something which is rapidly developing. And even if we are somewhere competitors or even not the best friends, but still we are working, again, as I told it also for the Dialog group, we are working on the same, and we are developing the same, so yes, there is a big V.
Do you think that this will be the element that will make rail successful, even more successful in the future?
For sure, it's. I would say it's one of the basics, and yes, I think this is something which will give more energy to develop this. I mean, this group feeling, this doing something which is important. See the numbers. I mean, Julia showed today the statistics where you could see developing through the years and the potentials in the nearest future. So yes.
Now, if you take a look in the future, how do you envision yourself?
I mean, as Transcontainer Europe, or you mean as
You,
company, or you mean
you
personally?
personally, do you envision taking another role, a higher ranking role?
No, I think for me personally, it's absolute great opportunity to work for this company, to being able to develop it, to be able to grow with the market, to grow with all these people, which I just considered as my family. So I'm really satisfied with the current status and position, and really want to give the company the energy, all my energy, to achieve the company goals.
All right. And if we take a look further, even further at the future, and let's say you retire or you have free time, would you have to choose between Russia and Germany, or would you still be split in half?
I mean, it will be split. I'm more now in nowadays. I'm more European, but 10 years before I was quite long period in Russia, and my family is partly living in Russia. So my mother, even she's German, she lives in Moscow, and my brother is in Moscow. So it will still will be between two countries, or even more, because Austria now like a next chapter in my life. So it was Russia, Germany, now it's Austria, which is also not the same like Germany. Yeah, so it's a different country with also different minds and mind setups, and yeah.
All right. As a closing remark now, if you could convey a message to the industry, what would it be?
We will rail you. I mean, it's really
Like the song, we will rock you, but we will
yes,
rail
exactly,
you.
yes. even maybe someone consider some bad meaning in this, but I mean, it's really about rail. Yeah, so we will do it together. We will develop it, and yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mironow.
Thank you.